Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is the 11th of March, 2016, and we're about to enter the weekend of Modelpalooza here in Pittsburgh. That's right, this weekend is the Tricon IPMS show up on the north side of Pittsburgh, tomorrow being Saturday, of course, and then Saturday night, I've got to go set up for our show, and then Sunday will be the South Hills Modeling Association's 8th annual model it's got a really big goofy name. I didn't make it up. It's like Diecast Model Toy Expo and Contest. It's our model contest with a vending area, basically. So everybody who's coming out to those two shows, we look forward to seeing you over this weekend. I know a couple people are actually going to do the twofer and spend the weekend. So hope you guys find something to do in Pittsburgh that keeps you amused on the Saturday night. I will be pushing tables around and making sure the wireless mic setup works and stuff like that. Because I am the MC. So, it's a relatively short show this week. I kind of expected a little bit more in terms of kit announcements. We're still waiting on like Fujimi's April spot runs, as well as just, things are sort of barely trickling in. We have 2 kit releases this week. 2, that's it, 2. And just 2 announcements as well. One of them we mentioned a few days ago, but now we have a definitive date, so we're going to talk about it more. And, that's pretty much it. So I expect next week we're going to get slammed with all sorts of release goodness. Plus we'll have of course, Fujimi has to do their spot runs for the month of April, so that'll be announced as well. On the new kit announcements, Studio 27, which of course, for anybody who pays any attention, is a decal manufacturer. They also do quite a bunch of resin trans kits and detail upsets, photo etch, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. They're going to be releasing their first model kit that's injection molded in the end of March, and it's going to be the Theodore Racing Walter Wolf WR3 F1 car. It's going to be 1/20th scale. It is a rebox of the Tamiya 1/20th scale Wolf WR1 that will have some resin pieces, I believe some actual like white metal pieces, photo etch, I believe a new set of tires, if I remember reading this right, because it's all machine translated, so you have to try to figure out what real words are there and what ones are not translated correctly, as well, of course, decal sheets and stuff like that, to convert it into the WR3. Theodore Racing is a F1 team that is was based out of Hong Kong. Now they run the Macau Grand Prix and a few other things. The Sun restarted the race team, I want to say about 8-9 years ago, something like that. I did a little research on it, can you tell? But at any rate, so expect, it's a Tamiya kit, so the quality be excellent, as all Tamiya kits tend to be, although I've never built one of the older F1 kits, so, caveat emptor on that. But that's going to be like $82, so it's probably, 40 of it's in the kit, because it's a 1/12 or 1/20 scale, so it's a little bit larger and a little bit more expensive. And then the rest of it's, of course, in the trans kits parts. So about half and half, I'd say. As the trans kits for stuff like the BMW 318i and all of the Hasegawa rally cars have been running about $20, $30 a piece. So, plus you got decals. So think of it as this way. It's $25 for the trans kit, it's $25 for the decal sheet, and then the actual model kit's like $30. You're going to have to probably, more than likely, if you really, really, really want that, you're going to have to order it through Japan. I don't see any way that's ever going to be stocked here in the United States. Studio 27 really doesn't have a distribution channel here in the United States, but there are a few people who are either buying enough to resell them or are actually legitimately resellers. There's a guy on eBay up in New York that runs I don't really know, I think it's a brick and mortar store, but it's a online store that does nothing but race car stuff. So he has quite a few of the Studio 27 GT3 decals that we show you and stuff like that. The other new kit announcement, and we actually got pictures for this, is for April release, the third version of the ST165 Toyota Celica. That is the late 80s, early 90s, I don't know, what would that be, the 4th gen? 5th gen? It doesn't really matter. You'll look at it here in a second. You'll be able to tell. rally car, the Celica rally car. This is, like I said, the third version. The first version, I don't remember what rally that was from, but I think it was supposed to be 1989, and then they did a 92 Australian rally, and this is a 1990 Safari rally. So this is a little promotional shot here showing you the new decals and stuff like that. There are, I guess, I want to say 3 parts runners of new parts here. It has a whole new suspension setup as far as like the struts in the front and the back, as well as axles and differential. There's all the new nighttime racing pieces. The nighttime racing pieces on the Australian rally car are circular, big circular lights. The ones on this one are obviously rectangular, and they're also like in a sort of a shield, or at least a diffuser would be something that would diffuse light. A refuser? No. It's in a little sheet metal box to sort of keep the light going forwards as opposed to just all over the place. Also has those 2 great big par 36 style spotlights on the front fenders. Those also have little sheet metal parts on them to aim the light directly forwards. It's got a new animal bar, which is what they describe it as in literal translation, which is great. Sounds like it's a place where zebras can go get a beer. This car will, of course, much like all the rest of the Celicas, have the problem that it's not evil enough. On these Safari rallies, you may recall the 85 Celica, the 3rd gen Celica kit that they did. You had to go out to Taboo Graphics to get new door shields, basically, that have the Marlboro logos. And this is the same thing. If you look right where the B is, the actual B, not the B Max, but the actual B, right there where the 3 is, that little square that has Safari Rally Course, or Safari Rally Kenya, rather, on it. There should be a Marlboro logo at the very top of that, where there's just a big blank red spot. So there's 3 of those, because one on each door and one on the hood, and along with the rally tag, which sort of not the license plate, but there's actually like a rally tag that sort of reminds you of the old Monte Carlo style rally. That also would have a Marlboro logo. So while it hasn't been announced yet, I expect next, at the end of this month, if not the very beginning of next month, you will see what Taboo Design likes to call a option decal set, which will include the Marlboro logo, so you can actually build this thing correctly as opposed to the gentrified, child-saving way. And here are the new parts for that kit. You got, like I said, clear parts for the new night lights, and then the little tiny sprue right above that is the backs for the new lights. Also, there's a new set of mirrors with this. You can see the animal bar, which is sort of the bottom of that rectangle, or not rectangle, but the bottom of that square sprue. I think it's got a new fuel cell as well. And then over there, the long rectangular one has a new front, would be what the lower A-arms, technically speaking, the new rear suspension and differential, and the new struts for all 4 corners. This car basically is getting a lift package, as it were, for ground clearance, as the first version was a tarmac chassis. The second is a gravel chassis, and this one is a more like off-road almost style chassis. And then we have 2 kit releases, as we mentioned. These are both March releases, so they are on time. The first, on the domestic side of things, actually, is the last of the round 2 kits we were expecting for the month of March. These guys are really Johnny on the spot this month. This is the newly I'm just going to say boxed, but yes, it is a newly boxed. The newly box arted 1984 GMC 4x4. This is the Fall Guy truck. It's the 84 GMC 4x4. I think it was in a round 2, or not round 2, but a Racing Champions box. It said something like that. This is a fairly hard for some reason, this is one of these kits that was, a gajillion of them were made, but apparently everyone is hoarding them, probably because it's one of the very few actual 4x4s that was ever kitted. Most pickup truck kits, when you look at them, they're 2-wheel drive trucks. Only like the Meng F350, this kit, and a few other things have actually legitimately been 4x4s. The F350 Firestone truck's a 4x4. There's not a lot of actual honest, legitimate four-wheel drive trucks that were kitted for whatever reason. I guess they wouldn't be popular enough, which just seems silly because every time a pickup truck gets released, all you ever hear about is whether or not it's going to be four-wheel drive. One of the commenters on a couple videos ago, and I can't remember what your name is, so don't take it the wrong way. I'm just saying commenter, but asked me if the new, the reissue of the F350 dually that Revell is going to be doing in the second quarter is going to have anything added to it like four-wheel drive or anything. No, just going to be a straight reissue. A four-wheel drive dually pickup truck would be fantastic. There's never been one, and there needs to be one. I mean, I guess technically speaking, maybe the Dodge pickup truck that AMT did in the Snapfast line was maybe supposed to be a four-wheel drive. I'd have to look at what the promo chassis looks like. But at any rate, you get this new box art for the Deserter. I don't believe this was actually ever a real kit in the past. It's brand new box art. And there's a brand new set of decals with this. Otherwise, it is what you should expect from all of the previous 4 or 5 reissues of the 84 GMC truck that they've done. It's cool to have it back. This is molded in white. Next month they're going to release one that's molded in black for the people that enjoy things molded in color, apparently. So we'll revisit this next month when that version comes out. And this is probably one of the few round 2 kits that are going to come out this year that I'm actually going to buy for sure. I'm considering that Bonneville convertible, but I want this one for sure because I've missed out on it a few times that it's been released, and like I said, for some reason it's really, really expensive on eBay. You see one of these pop up, and it's like, it's $50. What? This is like an $8 model kit. What are you $50 and about? But I guess you can't really do much with that. One Asian kit release, and this is a brand new tool. So none of that nonsense where we're like, they modified this, they modified that. No, brand new tool here. This is the Hasegawa Honda N360 N2, representing the 1969 model year. You could build this, it's not one of 2 ways, technically speaking, but you can build it as the Honda N360S and the Honda N360 Super Deluxe. The difference between those things are very, very minor. This is the Honda S, I believe. Or maybe no, this is the Honda Super Deluxe on the box cover here. The Honda S, you get some additional like driving lights for the front on the front bumper. There's very minor differences with different headrests, different shift levers. The Honda S has Honda S and the Honda Super Deluxe have slightly different tailpipes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I looked at the instructions on this the other day, but I obviously don't have mine yet since it just came out. But there's new and the fender mirrors. The fender mirrors are different between the 2 versions as well. There are, interestingly enough, an entire set of wheels in this kit, along with another set of front suspension parts, and a different set of mud guards. That's the other thing. The Super Deluxe gets all 4 mud guards. The Honda S just gets the front ones. There's a whole nother set of mud guards on here as well. So there's a set of marker lights that you do not use to build this kit. So there's obviously a second version of this planned. Whether it's going to be the facelifted version, I think in 1970 they went and give it a little facelift. So it'll be that. There, of course, is the N600, which is a slightly larger vehicle that would later begat the Honda Civic. The Honda N600 was exported to the United States, actually. This car was not. So it'll be interesting to see what they have planned. I think the N600 might be a little unrealistic, at least from this tool directly, because it looks like they're very, very minor changes, driving lights and different wheels and stuff like that. So I'm guessing that there's another version of this coming, and it's going to be like the later production version. Looks like a really nice kit, though. Hasegawa kits, tend to be really nice anyway. Anybody who has any of the Nissan Sunnies, the pickups know that as well. There's still one of those pickup truck versions to come because there's parts to that also that are tooled up in that Sunny that have not been used on either of the versions that they've actually released. There's a later production version rampaging around there someplace. It'll be interesting to see when they decide to put that kit out. And I guess that's it. We're going to take a look this weekend, see if we can find these Mobius kits. there's only really one person selling them, and they keep saying they're on pre-sale, but then they were also said they were supposed to receive them on Wednesday. So I don't know if they actually did or not. If we find them, we're going to buy them anyway, but if we find them, we'll let you know. If we do a show weekend recap, because I'm going to enter the Tricon, and we do not enter our own contests, so the McLaren will just be on the club group display, but it will not be entered in the contest. And I don't plan on buying much of anything over the weekend, but if those Mobius kits happen to be in with our one kit vendor, then I'm going to grab them, just so I don't have to drive out to a store later this month. And that's pretty much it. Before we go, I have now officially seen box art for the FD3S RX-7 and the R32 GTR Initial D Battle Series cars that are going to have the new wheels and wings and various parts. Interestingly, they are doing their version of the R32 that has the engine in it. It's an engine insert like most Aoshima kits are. It's not a full engine like the Tamiya kit. So that's an interesting option if you want to look at that. I don't think the engine version of the R32 has been out recently, or if it has been, it's not been reissued recently. It might just be one of those things that's just in stock because it doesn't sell compared to the Tamiya kit. And also, we've seen the box art for the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, the sixth element, carbon fiber car that it is. So with those the two Initial D series kits, as well as the Sesto Elemento kit, having the box arts be done and approved for public consumption. If you go to Aoshima's Facebook page, you can see them yourself. That means those kits will be out this month or the very, very beginning of April at the latest. So if you've been waiting on the Sesto Elemento since August of last year, like I have, then the payment is going to be due here pretty soon. Also, because I was going to say there's a detail upset from Aoshima for the Sesto Elemento. Also, there is a detail upset specific to that new ST165 Kenya Rally Celica. So if you happen to look around, you'll see that there are other detail upsets for the Celica. They've released one with each kit. Know that they are individually for that kit, and they're not designed to fit the other kits in the series. Some people might find that somewhat annoying that it's not a cross-genre sort of generalized photo etch set, and some people will find that to be good because it's a photo etch set that's specifically designed to fit the car, and you're not going to have to try to bend anything or whittle anything or file things up and try to get things to fit. I guess that's about it. So anyway, guys, for everyone coming on the weekend, we'll see you guys this weekend, and everybody else will see you on the other side.